it loses contact with the stone because the angle changes, right? It's narrower at the top and it's wider at the bottom. So once you get down and you're finished, you lift it up a bit, and then all of a sudden the tool's going to be wider right at that point when you lift it up. So it's not actually touching the stone. It doesn't unscrew. It just lifts out. It can't. I don't think unscrewing it or removing the tool will give you the spiral groove. Plus, look, it takes quite a lot of force to cut into granite like this. It's not just a simple. You're not scratching granite and leaving a deep groove like we see in these tubes. It's not just in the in the drills, but we see it in these holes too. You have these deep grooves in the holes, and you see this all over the place with as many.
Now, is that an example of like them doing a core drill used to split a piece of stone?
Well, I don't think it's used to split a piece of stone so much as they were sought out to then split stone. You know what I'm saying? Like they were. I think the people that were quarrying the blocks were looking for these, and then they would try and split them along the angle of the tube drill. You know what I'm saying? Along the axis of the tube drill. You see it all. There's lots of complete holes like that haven't been split, and in fact, you see on the back of the stones, you see that dashed line, which is a. I mean, that's a technique that started. I mean, they were the earliest. We know they were using it in like the New Kingdom, but these tube drill holes go back way further, and the oldest types we don't see that quarrying method way back in the day. It's like the oldest quarrying method seems to be the scoop method at the quarry, which is kind of
like an
weird.
ice cream scoop.
Yeah. But I think they were looking for them. Like, for example, here's a giant tube drill, right? This is a 9-inch one at Karnak. And this stone's been split along its axis.
Right. So later civilizations found these things and used that to try to split them.
because it's a natural weakness in the stone and you could split them. So you see a lot of tube drills that are in fact split, but you see plenty that are whole as well. And when we know they're whole originally because we have the drill cores.
Can we look at some pictures of these scoop marks?
Yeah. Actually, this is a good point. Yeah, I don't know if I have... let's just go straight to that quarry.
And also, I forgot to ask you, what do you speculate these saw blades could have been made of?
It's less maybe what they were made of than what technology they were using. I mean, you know, Petrie speculated that it could have been. He's like, diamond would fit the bill, you know, like because he was looking, it's a bronze embedded with gemstones or something. But he's like, there's no evidence for diamond use. And he's right. There's no evidence for diamond use in Egypt. We see no diamonds. It's not written about.
Would there be leftover fragments of diamonds?
Yeah, but you'd find something. There's literally been zero. And as far as gemstones go, the dynastic Egyptians sort of prized coloured stones. So diamonds wouldn't have been precious from that perspective. I mean, who knows? Maybe they did use them. We just don't have any evidence for it. But I don't know what it was using. It could any corundum or hardened substance, but it could have. Like I look at the stuff. I don't think there was pure mechanical force involved. I think there's something else going on.
Like how though?
Well, that's the speculation.
Could they have softened the stones?
There's who knows? Were they changing the molecular properties of the stone? Were they using ultrasonics? Were they? I mean, you have to go back to the legends.
Plasmoids?
Have you ever heard of plasmoids? Well, it could have been plasmoids. I don't know. I mean, this is where we speculate. That's why I think it's interesting to be open-minded about what we see on these sites and research it as best we can. Let's use our best tools. Let's microscopically analyze the rock. Let's look at it with being open-minded to any possibility because we might learn something. You know, I think you go back in time, the legend of the Shamir is very interesting. You ever heard this story?
No.
Like the Solomon's Temple, the Shamir and all this. So the Shamir, I'm not that well-versed in this. You should really have... You know, Russ and Kyle,
Who are those guys?
Snake Bros.
The Snake Bros. Yeah,
they would be great.
I've been meaning to reach out to those guys.
Yeah, fantastic. And Russ really knows this stuff inside out. But so there's stories in, I think it's associated with King Solomon about the stories of something called a shamir, which it essentially think of it as like a lightsaber that just cuts through stone. Lets people cut through very hard stone. It's sometimes described as a worm. But there's this consistent story of this artifact called a shamir that is like allegedly would let you, I like to think of it as like this lightsaber that just cuts through stone, and people could cut really hard stone with it. It comes out of history. So it's like, was this left over from these times? I don't know. And I try not.
Thinking about it in terms of diamond blades though is like, it's like thinking about it looking in the mirror, like we can't assume that they did shit the way that we do shit, right? This is what we've been talking about with Randall for the past few days.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's the right approach. Like it's a tempting and natural thing to look at a problem. We look at these challenges and we go, this is how we would do it. Right. Fit it into our box. And again, I just think that there's avenues of technology that we are yet to learn about, that we will know more about in time. And I think it's hard to do, but it's like, here's our perspective and here's everything we know, but some of the answers might be out here. Like it's just, and that's what being open-minded about it and not just dismissing stuff and scoffing at it, and then researching it with some of those possibilities in mind, we might even learn something eventually from it. That's what I want to do. People always like, well, what is it and what's a speculation and of how it does it? You can speculate all over the place. Chris Dunn's new book, if you've got to it, the Serapeum chapter.
Yeah, I'm like a quarter of the way through it. I got to finish it.
He does some amazing speculation. I'm not going to spoil it.
Really?
Oh
God.
Mate, I'd love it. He sent me the Serapeum chapter because I'd helped him with some stuff for it before he wrote it, and I'm writing a recommendation for it. So I've got the book too. It comes out early next New Year. New Year for,
January or something.
January 24. Yeah, for people.
Get them salts, baby.
And then and he does. I love where he goes with it. But it's with speculation. The world. It's an imagination at that point.
Does he talk about these lightsabers?
I haven't seen him mention specifically to Shamir. He's talking more about a potential technological application for the boxes.
Oh, a technological application.
Yeah,
so that's something I've always thought about too. Yeah.
So here's another way to think of it, and I like this idea too. Is that because this relates to. He does talk about this, and this isn't giving the game away here, but it's like if you consider the idea. You heard of like the concept of an assembler. Like
an assembler?
Assembler. Like this is, imagine we get nanotech down to the point, and this is entirely plausible if you just project technology forward, where you create these microscopic machines that can essentially assemble themselves, or they're almost like a von Neumann probe or something like that, but at the tiniest level, where you can use molecular...
A von Neumann probe.
Yeah, it's like a self-replicating probe. Imagine you say, and there's some interesting books been written on that topic. Yeah, it's like you send a probe out into space, but it has the capability to replicate itself.
Okay.
And just by using the material that it finds, and then project forward 1,000 years and see what happens. Sort of thing. But imagine you get to the point where we have these microscopic machines they're assemblers that can take molecular material, even at the atomic level, and assemble things, and even replicate themselves. So you could build anything, but it's being done with technology that's so small you can't see it. Right? That's this concept. It's been proposed by a number of sci-fi authors and people that have thought about technology.
Yeah.
And it's like that's one scale of things. And the other scale of things to think about as well, if you go out and you think about Dyson spheres and things like that are almost galactic in scope, or the size of a solar system in terms of a machine that does a particular thing. It's just an interesting way of thinking and looking at technology. We look at it and we go, here's a box, and how would we cut this box and make this box? But it's possible, whether it's plausible or not, I don't know, but it's possible that the answers to some of these questions could be so small we can't see them, or so large we can't comprehend them. Like that's just the nature of technology. Like we just don't, you can throw simulation theory into that too, the idea that we're all just part of some simulation running on the computers of the future. But it's just projections of technology, and this is all pure speculation. So that's one of the challenges with speculation, is that it becomes this just endless imagination of possibilities. But I do try to focus on sort of following the evidence and looking at what some of the answers might be based on the evidence that we have in front of us, and it's fun to speculate. And I'm in the process of writing a book too, and I will speculate, give my speculation in there as well about what it might be, but I always try to be real clear about when I'm speculating. Because as soon as you speculate, people are like, look, he's crazy. He thinks the moon's a spaceship or something.
Oh, yeah, we did. Our last podcast, we were talking about the moon, and somebody took a video and made some crazy reaction video about it.
Yeah. Gotta love that React model.